I'm going to be going over a couple of threads by Jesse Myers, aka Croesus, today. And the punchline is this: the Bitcoin rocket ship to the moon is being fueled up, and you might want to get some tickets before it's too late. First up, Jesse talks about how the narrative surrounding Bitcoin has been changing, and in a pretty drastic way. Wall Street flips positive on Bitcoin. Something strange just happened, Jesse writes. All of the recent mainstream media coverage about Bitcoin has been positive. For example, here are all the recent headlines from Forbes. Everything you need to know about Bitcoin and the environment. This is a testament to the industry's commitment to sustainability and its potential role in the green revolution. How Bitcoin helps civilians escape the war in Sudan. Bitcoin network to reduce more emissions than its energy sources produce. Bitcoin mining may soon be reducing more emissions than its energy sources produce, according to Daniel Batten, co-founder of CH4 Capital. Terrorists, North Korea, and other illicit actors move beyond Bitcoin. Over the last few years, we have seen a shift from Bitcoin to a more diverse crypto ecosystem. According to a new report from TRM Labs, illicit actors have followed. Now, obviously, that's just Forbes, but Forbes is a big player when it comes to news. Their YouTube channel has more than 2 million subscribers, and they often get thousands, if not millions, of views per video. What changed? Nothing changed about Bitcoin. But what did change is that Blackrock flipped its stance on Bitcoin. And the reason that's so important, why that's so impactful, is this right here.
BlackRock currently owns 18% of Fox, 16% of CBS, and 13% of Comcast, which in turn owns NBC, MSNBC, and Sky. If any of those companies wanted to make a decision, they would have to also consult with BlackRock before doing so. The same is true for Google, a tech giant currently worth $853 billion. Amazon, Facebook, and Twitter are also not exempt, and neither is Disney. Thanks to their incredibly diverse investment portfolio in media alone, BlackRock essentially owns 90% of the world's media.
And the inverse is true as well. If they want you to know something, then you're going to know about it. And if they want you to know about Bitcoin, positive or negative, you're going to know about it. And right now, they're switching towards positivity. This here on CNBC from October 13th, 2017. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink calls Bitcoin an index of money laundering. And then, 6 years later, CNBC, BlackRock files for Spot-Bitcoin ETF with Coinbase as crypto custodian. BlackRock wields its influence to shape narratives in the corporate media. This is the firm that invented and promotes ESG. All of the ESG fixation over the last handful of years was because BlackRock wanted to promote a system of corporate social good, somehow not realizing that this system would be politicized and gamed. Well, here comes Bitcoin, which actually embodies the purported tenets of environmental social governance. And after 14 years of the mainstream generally misunderstanding Bitcoin's merits, now the pages of Forbes are promoting Bitcoin as good for global emissions, good for human rights in developing countries, and not a haven for criminality after all. Perhaps I'm a sucker, but there is an earnestness and an excitement in Larry Fink's recent positive comments on Bitcoin that I recognize. It's how all of us who did our research on Bitcoin felt in the early stages of our respective discoveries of Bitcoin's merits. Everyone dismisses Bitcoin at first, but in time, everyone must also come to terms with its staying power and wrestle with a nagging dissonance. On the one hand, this thing sounds completely ridiculous. On the other hand, every smart person who does their diligence becomes enraptured by Bitcoin. Funnily enough, this dissonance is most deafening for Wall Street titans. These masters of the universe are a rare breed. They are razor sharp, extremely well-read, and hyper-social. They are in the business of finding an edge, and that means relentless information-seeking and nearly pathological competitive drive. Larry Fink didn't get to the top of the finance world by ignoring what his smartest peers were saying. Without a doubt, Larry and his team have taken a closer look at the merits of Bitcoin, and I believe he is in the early stages of realizing its splendor. I will generalize here to make a two-part assertion. Wall Street billionaires love American values. Bitcoin is American values. If you hang out on Bitcoin Twitter, there's a good chance you saw this around July 4th, but I'm going to play at least some of it here at 1.25 speed because it's Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase talking positively about America and American values.
America has the best hand ever dealt of any country on this planet today, ever. Okay, and Americans don't fully appreciate what I'm about to say. We have peaceful, wonderful neighbors in Canada and Mexico. We've got the biggest military barriers ever built called the Atlantic and the Pacific. We have all the food, water, and energy we will ever need.
He goes on like that for another 50-odd seconds, speaking positively about America and everything that we have here in this incredible country. And Jesse is talking about how most people that he's encountered, that he knows of, that he's aware of on Wall Street share that sentiment. They aren't doing business in the United States of America because they hate this country and hate what it's about. No. They love the opportunities that this great nation affords them. I may be a hopeful fool on this one, but more Wall Street titans may become vocal Bitcoin advocates, partly because they can make money by embracing Bitcoin, but more deeply because it champions America's core values. If my sense is right, Paul Tudor Jones, Bill Miller, and Stan Druckenmiller were just the overture. Now, at the outset of this, I talked about this right now, this point in time, mid-July 2023, being maybe, possibly, one of the last opportunities you have to stack stats at this current price. This is another article, once again written by Jesse. And here we see from the Rational Root a chart showing that in mid-2020, right around here, about April 2020, we hit a point where the number of Bitcoins on exchanges has been dwindling. This was increasing all the way up until that point. This chart here, the cream peach colored chart, that is the supply on exchanges. And ever since that point, it has been going down and down and down. The price has continued up, but the amount available on exchange has been going down. People are hodling. Small holders are accumulating Bitcoin faster than ever. In fact, the recent spike shows that Bitcoin addresses holding less than one Bitcoin, the shrimp, are currently accumulating Bitcoin 100% as fast as new coins are being mined. But accounts holding between 1 and 10 Bitcoin are also accumulating 100% of the new Bitcoin being mined. And on top of that, accounts with 10 to 100 Bitcoin are accumulating 75% of the new Bitcoin being mined right now. Together, that's 275% of all the new Bitcoin being mined. Right now, individuals are accumulating way more Bitcoin than is being created. And if you're wondering, well, why isn't the price going to the moon right now? You have to remember that 900 Bitcoin are mined every single day. So the price is, as Opti put it, kind of crab walking along sideways right now. But in less than 10 months, the halving will happen. And if the same amount of money keeps on coming into Bitcoin, but there's half of the supply, the price doubles. That's basic math. My closing point to you is this. The price of 3,200 sats per dollar will not stay at that rate. It will do something. Whether that's dip and you get more, that might happen for a short time. But if things stay as they do now and no new money comes in, no ETF gets approved, no more of Blackrock's talking on TV, all the big channels increases people's interest in this, if none of that happens, then the one thing that will certainly happen is the halving. In less than 10 months from now, April 2024, the subsidy will be cut in half. The 6.25 Bitcoin that miners earn for finding a block will be cut to 3.125. And if the same amount of money right now, no new money, just the same amount of money is coming into Bitcoin, then the price, at the very least, doubles.